Welcome back to Morning Coffee with Tim, episode 6, and we're in Imperial Studios again. The incredible setup, and we've got another incredible guest, the King of Fintona, some might say. Well, I might be the King of Fintona actually, but McCarney's probably the proper King of Fintona. Mark McCarney, how are you?
You can be the prince.
Well, I'll be the prince.
You can be. If I die, you can take over from that. How's it going, Tim?
I'm very good, sir. Thank you for coming in. I appreciate it.
Oh, no problem at all.
Man,
Glad to be here.
It's good to have you, and I can't wait to delve into the mind of Mark McCarney.
It's a dark, twisted journey.
Podcaster, comedian.
I would never call myself any of them things.
That's all of them things.
Poet, entrepreneur. Is a more apt.
Funny, I did see on your Instagram. I was on your Instagram yesterday, or I was sending you a message, and it just says Mark McCarney, poet.
I didn't put that in Instagram. Put that.
They thought you were a poet.
They can detect. You see.
All right.
The limericks coming out of me flat out.
Well, that's fair. That's fair. I seen it and I was like, you know what? That's an apt description of that man.
Yeah,
because you're good with words, and you're a very, very talented man. And I've been saying this in this podcast before. Fintona has a lot of talent.
I wouldn't consider what I have talent. It's
no,
just
don't do yourself like
brutal ignorance. I'll keep at it.
But sure, that is talent.
I think it's not. No, I don't know what that is. There's a wee want in me.
No, well, everyone. But sure, who wants to be normal? That's what I say to everyone.
That is it. There's a wee want in everybody. And you should embrace it. That's
Absolutely.
what I've always said.
You don't want to be. If you're normal, get out the door.
It was great whenever I was young. That was a bad thing.
What?
You're a wee bit on the fringes of things. Get that man.
No, I'd have been the same at school if you were doing anything different. Like, if you'd had a podcast at school, you'd have been put out of the place.
You'd have been a multi-millionaire.
Well, that is true.
You'd have been the next Joe Montana.
If you had a podcast and a few Bitcoin about you back in the day, you'd have been landed.
Would you believe I would say, and I'm
don't
not
say you bought 3 Bitcoin.
I have a feeling I would be the first man in this country that bought Bitcoin. I was in very early,
And did you leave or?
I
did
can't
you leave
remember
early,
the
or?
login details for it. But Tim,
Do you still have it? Is it still there?
I have that much money. It doesn't even bother me.
That's what I was going to say. I was like, if you don't even notice it's there, you're like,
oh look, that's what I mean. Just
you don't need it.
Of me.
Don't need it.
All I need is a tenner, a couple of change in my pocket. My grandfather's always have a rattle in your pocket.
That is true. But
true. A change.
That's all you need. Here, to be fair, I'm wild bad at that. I don't use change. I'm a card man.
Yeah, but I'm wild bad at investments, so it's probably better I don't have money. I invested heavily in X Division about a week before it closed.
And Blockbuster.
So I had to remortgage the house.
That's where all the Bitcoin money went. You invested it all in.
No, I can't get into it, but sure, let them at it. It's all fake anyway.
It's just not real money.
Monopoly money.
It's not tangible, so forget about it. Here, Mark, I want to ask you a question straight off the top.
Fire away.
That's a very, very important question. Obviously, Morning Coffee with Tim. We're sipping 2 barista bars here.
Morning McCarney and Morning Coffee with Tim.
That's what I was thinking. Morning McCarney, but yeah, there's a great crossover collab, swappy cast or whatever you want to call it.
We'll do a live show in SSE next week.
Yes, folks, tickets will be released next week. We'll sell it out.
Oh,
we need your crowd to really buy the tickets because I'll not have much of a pull, but we'll sell it out.
Don't be selling yourself
maybe.
short.
Maybe start Ulster Hall and then we'll go SSE.
I tell you what, we'll go to Pickens Crossroads.
Yes. See us at Pickens Crossroads. We'll do like an open air thing.
Aye.
Be great.
See, you always think the next thing ahead.
Aye.
That's what I like. See, whatever the boys are doing now.
Don't do what they're doing.
I like to go over the top of that.
Yeah. I like that.
Over the next thing.
No, I like that.
And then they'll be up your hole doing the same thing.
And then everyone will copy it. I agree. I agree.
Yeah. So you have to be ahead of the curve in this day and age.
We'll be in Vinegar Lane next week, which is a place that you said on a podcast recently, and I'm born and bred in Fintona. I used to try and tell people that I wasn't, but I'm proud of it now. I've built a bit of pride in Fintona.
Yes.
It's
well, is Fintona your address?
Aye.
See, I'm the same.
I'm about 20 yards from Seskinore.
See, I'm the exact same. Like, I live out the road. And I'd be as close to Trillick or Dromore as I would to Fintona.
But your address is Fintona?
Address is Fintona.
I see, I was...
It's all about the streets, Tim.
Yes.
It's all about the streets.
Aye.
You have to embrace the streets.
No, absolutely.
Or it'll embrace you.
I used to always say I was from Seskinore. Seskinore was a quiet wee village. No one really done much in it. And it was just like, it's placid.
I would have said you were more Taddy Ray.
Aye, well, I do I'm close to there as well. But is Taddy Ray not Fintona, no? Or is that a whole different place?
Jesus,
again?
Don't go down that there. Jesus, cut that out. That
Here, I know nothing, to be fair. I don't even know.
You get put out of it if you hear that.
Do you know what I find out? I didn't even ask you the question I wanted to ask you, but this is something that I always experience with local people. Do you know who you're related to? Or do you, like, sometimes will your, like,
Only
parents...
after the damage is done.
Will your parents say to you, oh, that's such and such's cousin? I'm wild bad at knowing. Like, someone will say, someone could live beside me for 20 years, and then my mum will go, oh, that's their cousins with such and such, or that's your third cousin. I don't know who I'm related to, apart from my first cousins and my siblings.
No, well, I found the McCarneys are a very inbred family.
Great.
And a lot of
in-house,
my ancestors left, funny enough.
Right?
But then there's a lot of McCarneys in this town that is no relation to me whatsoever.
I use your kind of... No, you aren't blow-ins. You started here, but everyone left.
No, well, there's a big... Like, my father has 9 children in his family, like. And there's a McCarney man...
Wait, so you have 8 siblings?
No. He's 8 siblings.
Right.
I was just one.
You're an only child?
Only child. After they had me, they went, what more do you
We've
want?
completed it.
We've done the whole thing.
Yeah, fair enough. You couldn't get better than you, like.
So, no, I think there's McCarneys. I mean, there's McCarney shop here. There's loads of McCarneys, and we're not related to them at all. But I would say if you went far enough back...
You're related in some way, like.
But, I mean, you're talking Stone Age time.
I see, I'm Donegal. That's where my dad's
Well, apparently,
from.
I mean doing one of them online things one time, and it said Cork.
Right?
Our people
I
came
thought you meant
from-
the Disney quiz or something. But you meant heritage? Lineage?
No, who's princess are
I
you?
thought you meant who am I,
What do you
Princess
call it?
Leia?
I got to the level where they asked for money, and I was like,
I
no,
know,
I'm
no
not doing
good.
that there. But
Aye,
no,
that's what everyone's looking money these days.
originally, apparently, they came from Cork.
Right?
And McCarney means warlike, and Mark means warrior.
You're
So
gonna
warlike.
You're going to need that tomorrow night.
I'm a savage, Tim.
I know you're a savage.
Cold, stone cold.
You're a killer,
savage.
like, but
I know.
you hold it back. You wouldn't kill, but you could.
When I'm talking to people, I'm just looking at their throat,
Aye, I could see that.
and I can just where
That's why you wear sunglasses.
This is just
Looking at my throat the whole time.
Yeah.
I know it, and we will get into the boxing, comedians boxing tomorrow night. We'll talk about that. We will talk about that because I want to dive into it. Because this will be released after it's already happened, so Mickey will already be dead.
Yes.
But
yes.
we want to talk about the
Yes.
prep.
Well, this is the day before, and then this is my, as I was telling me, decompression. So
Yes. I've
Michael
never seen a
Conlon
more
gave me this
relaxed
the other
man.
day.
Aye.
He said, "You need to take it easy now. You know, if anything happened to me now, it'd be catastrophic."
Yeah, you look relaxed.
Yes. I mean, it's just like a typical Saturday to me.
That's what I would say.
I may as well be going over to light the fire.
Aye, we had lunch. You're just in on the
went
podcast
for
chatting.
our
out. No, there's no
lunch.
stress here. Like,
Nope, not one.
very chilled out
ounce of it.
environment. And we will get into. I want to hear about your training.
I've been
also.
sleeping near 20 hours a day. I'm so chill leading up to it.
I'm looking forward to seeing it, and Mickey needs to watch out. I'll tell you that much. But
Oh, he knows.
he knows.
I can still smell him here.
Aye,
Them old ashy hands of his.
aye, that
Still lingering about.
he wasn't on that sofa. Actually, a different sofa. But
I know, but you can see that it's still
aye,
wet
it's
from it
still,
was last week.
there is a waft of them in the air, now,
Uh-huh.
which is unpleasant.
And that's what happens to cowardly animals. Pheromones
Yeah,
come off them.
Aye,
Fear.
they excrete.
Like an old skunk.
Fear, aye.
Yeah.
There is an old smell of them in here. To be fair, now I can't get down my nose. But anyway, I wanna ask you, coffee. What's your go-to coffee? This is the morning coffee with Tim. Go-to
Yes.
coffee, and also favorite coffee shop. If you've ever had any experience where you've been like, that was a really, really good, and you can say somewhere in Finton if you want, but we've only got one.
Well,
be
favorite coffee is cappuccino.
You're a cappuccino man.
Just cappuccino. I
Have you
can't-
ever ventured into flat whites or lattes or?
Colin Geddes bought me a flat white one time.
Aye.
Threw it in his face. So get that out of my head.
Aye.
No good. No, I like milk.
Too small. It's too small.
To be brutally honest, if you just give me a pint of frothy warm milk,
You'd be happy enough.
That's really-
No wonder you like barista bar.
I have a stomach of like a child.
Aye.
I just need simple food.
Everyone in this podcast has ABS. I don't know.
No,
I don't know what it is.
I'm quite good at holding the shits in.
All
but,
right, okay.
I mean, just that's just my palate.
All right, okay, yes,
Very
yes. Simple.
dry, simple
Aye.
stuff. Yeah,
Chicken, chips,
chicken, fish,
fish,
steak,
beige stuff. Oh,
Champ.
Aye.
loads
you.
of champ,
Yeah.
pepper sauce, pancakes.
Simple.
It's very simple stuff.
Nutritious, some might say, but simple, definitely. So cappuccino's the go-to. Nothing else. Have you ever had
Cappuccino's the go-to.
any coffee shop that you've been like, flip, this is great?
I've no real respect for any building.
Wow.
I don't really
Okay.
much. No, I don't really. I wouldn't
No,
think-
no coffee shop you've been to that you've been
No.
like, that was really good.
We spoke about this before, man. You used to say you'd great time and you'd work away in a coffee
Aye.
shop. I couldn't.
Couldn't do it.
Couldn't do it.
You like the silence? Is it all the people about you?
I don't know what it is. No, I just couldn't be bothered. If I'm in a coffee shop, it's usually with somebody.
I get that. You're old school, you see. You like
But I
conversation.
think if I go, see, I'm well conscious if I go into places alone, people think I'm a kind of a pervert.
If you went into places like dressed like that with the sunglasses on, the fluffy hood, in this environment, totally comfortable.
Yes.
You know, it's fine. I respect it.
So
but
you have to.
if you walked into a coffee shop like that, you would probably someone would be
You
calling.
see, I wouldn't have thought that.
No.
I don't catch on to that.
Well.
This is normal for me.
It looks good, but
This is my decompression suit, I'm telling you. Keeps the bones
the
warm,
muscles relaxed.
and the muscles vibrate.
Yeah. Man.
I'm telling you. I'm gonna have to take tablets and everything to keep me hydrated and stuff. A pile of tablets here have to take.
Aye.
So don't worry if you
Hydration tabs, chewing gum.
Well, I have a couple of fizzy. I think these are fizzy steroids that are
Right,
new in the
yeah.
market. They come out of Mexico, do you believe?
There's no testing tomorrow night anyway, so you'll get away with that, all right.
Aye, is that right?
Oh, well, I don't know, but
I think Micky's doing a reading test.
Is it?
That's a
I've
bit
always
ahead of us.
questioned that man's ability to read.
Spelling bee.
You get them tablets into you anyway, and it'll be 100%. I'm really looking forward to seeing you in action, like.
I'd say so.
Aye.
The only thing I regret is that I can't watch myself.
Aye. That would be nice. You'd like to have like a bird's eye view.
I'm like Kanye West. He said that one time. He says, the only regret is I'll never see myself perform.
Yes.
I'm the same. Hey.
Aye, that is quite.
Totally the same. I don't know what these might explode. These experimental drugs.
What? Aye. Is it just wee fizzy?
These are very high powerful. Apparently, these are for acid reflux.
Right.
I'm going to eat Micky Bartlett that hard. He's going to repeat in me.
Oh my days.
So I have to keep them into me.
Did you just eat one of them too?
Oh, I have to eat one of them every 20 minutes.
I thought you put one the.
Oh, I'll take that after a wee minute. Let that fizz out a wee bit.
Goodness
I'm telling you, I'm like a well-oiled machine.
I thought no squeaks of you.
Aye.
You're loose, like.
You know, and I'm proud of myself now because I was never like this before.
No.
Like I'm literally only training 4 weeks,
Aye.
and I'm astounded myself at what a well-oiled fit machine I am.
Aye. See, to be fair, Micky is lucky that this is going to come out after the fight because if he's seen you in this state,
Well, he's seen enough last week.
Aye.
He's seen enough. You know,
Yeah.
I really and truly have nothing more to say about it.
Aye. I seen you.
Only that I'm sorry.
seen you with the gloves on, and you know hitting him and all, just giving him a
They
few
call me the
digs.
combine harvester.
Aye.
Seeing my arms start going,
Yeah.
you're gone.
You're churning the
I'll
corn.
just
Like.
chew you
Aye.
up.
No, I would know it. And you're nimble too. Like, and I know you've been putting in. Well, it's after the boxing, so it doesn't matter what we say about how much.
Well, you
training
know,
you've been
look,
putting in, but
here it is, Tim.
I know you've been doing what you need to do.
I know the decision isn't going to go my way because, you know, it's like Barry McGuigan tell me, you'll get no justice up there.
Aye.
See us boys down south of Ballygally?
Yes.
We don't get
They don't
breaks
see us the
in
same up there.
We're going to be like Michael Conlon. Mind he got robbed in the Olympics.
That's right.
It's going to be the same.
That's right.
But I'm not there to win. I just want him broken.
Yes. If you throw a few digs and then they give the win to him,
I don't look.
Happy
Winning
enough.
means nothing to me.
no.
And there's not even the taking part.
Yes.
Breaking his back
Aye.
is what I'm on about.
Yeah. You don't want him to walk out of it.
I know rightly I'm not going to get any justice from the judges.
Yeah.
Because they treat their own.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I'm like an outsider. I'm coming in.
Where's
and,
he? He's Lurgan, but.
Exactly. The judge is from Lurgan. I mean, how dirty can you get? Like,
Aye, that's.
but I know that going into it that I'm not going to get any justice. But that's few and far between. That's not the point.
But as long as you do yourself proud and your family proud,
Exactly.
and you're loose and you feel good,
Exactly. As long as I give him a hernia,
aye,
I'm happy.
aye. No, I think you're going to make him sore now. And I'm not going to manifest this because obviously this is going to come out after people will be listening to this and they'll already know the results of the boxing. But I'd say it'll not be good for Micky Bartlett.
And then, you know, there's a lot of there's no substance testing either, which is
Exactly.
sly. Sly.
So a few
I'll
boys.
say no more than that.
Aye,
now,
well,
but,
not.
you know, that's just the way. Boys like us, you see, we're cut from a different cloth.
Aye.
We've been just used to being put down. My father always said there's after the Ballygally roundabout, there's nothing. We were
Is the
never
Ballygally
figured
roundabout the cutoff? Because you seem to mention that a lot. Like that is that the cutoff for
Ballygally
where
roundabout
it becomes country?
It was like, do you remember in the Wizard of Oz when
Which they clipped their heels?
when they came to the Great Gates?
Aye.
That's what the Ballygally roundabout is.
Yes.
My father takes a nosebleed every time he passes it.
Aye. Altitude.
With the stress
They
of
going up on a
leaving,
plane. Aye.
home, like.
I can imagine. So
know?
it's not the same once you and even when they brought the new road in there, like out onto the motorway, that new bit, just doesn't feel right.
The only fault they done in the Ballygally roundabout was they made another one.
Aye.
They took away the shine from the OG one.
Yes.
But it has a Twitter account.
Aye, I remember seeing that.
And
Is it still up to date?
it's so iconic. Even Dublin Airport recognises it as a tourist attraction.
Right?
They be tweeting away at each other.
Dublin Airport and
Dublin
Ballygolly
Airport,
Roundabout?
everybody...
Do we know who the Ballygolly Roundabout Twitter account is?
It's me, but don't say that.
It's me.
It needs these places... See, NA Tourism
Oh, no awareness.
should be flattened.
Aye, I would say
Giant's
that.
Causeway,
What is it?
Lock of Stones.
I know, that's what I know.
The
They need
real
to come down
iconic-
around these parts.
The real iconic places now, everyone... there's a lot of church rocks out the road.
Yeah, yeah. There's no church up the top of the town there. Wild nice place.
No
roof on it.
roof on it.
No roof on it, but it looks lovely, but doesn't get any recognition.
No.
They just does. You're right. You could be right. There is a bit
Down
of
to money again, Tim. Down to money again. They pump it all up near the top, and they leave the boys in the middle hanging.
It is what it is. It is what it is.
It's unfortunate now.
But here, we'll struggle on. Mark, I want to get into growing up. We both obviously grew up in the same place.
No, I all struggled growing up now.
I want to find out about, because you're a comedian now. Poet, sorry.
Poet.
You're a poet.
Slash boxer.
Yeah, slash boxer,
entrepreneur.
slash professional athlete. But growing up, that's the heating.
Somebody looking in there.
The heating comes on in the middle of this, and every time, I don't know. It's but we'll be warm now, so it's all good. But growing up, when did you know? I would love to know when you knew you wanted to be a comedian, or did you never know? Like, what did you want to be growing up? When you were growing up, going to school, local school probably. Like, did you? Were you shy? Were you out there? Like, what was the crack?
No, very shy. Still am very quiet.
Aye, but that's mad for a comedian. Like, everyone would expect a comedian to be
quiet.
out there.
I think being quiet is that you ever just sit and shut your mouth.
That's nice.
Heaven and earth. And I disagree with these ones. You know, people say about comedians, you need to have the gift of the gab. No, you don't. You need to be a good listener. You need to be, and then when this is flapping your mouth,
yes,
this can't work. And that is very true. Like, a lot of stuff you pick up, you're just from hearing. You're out and about and hearing things or whatever. So no, I was always very quiet. I went to the school out in the country. There's only 27 of us. And a goat. We had a goat.
Right?
Oh,
that's real? Yeah, I actually had a goat.
Taught me algebra.
Right.
But we went to that, and I love primary school now, I have to say. We had a great teacher, Mrs. Carey, I think I was telling you about before. And
that's right.
I think she knew academia was never for me.
Yes.
But she always put me in for competitions and stuff. And
poetry.
Poets.
Yes.
I won the first flat screen television ever came to Tyrone. I won it.
You won it?
I won it in a poetry competition.
That would have been a big prize, too.
It was the full size of the wall in the school. It was that big. I had to get a crane to bring it in. I was the hero of the town.
That's unreal, hey?
And I loved it. And then I went to the school in Dermore, and then the creativity, they knocked it senselessly out of me. I think that school put me back, that's the truth. It was a great school, but it was very geared towards, very, logical careers, which I suppose makes sense. They want you to go on to be
successful.
And dentists and whatever. But
some people might say normal careers.
Aye. Yeah. But then, to be fair to them, like...
Well, we need doctors and all that.
None of this was about when I was in school.
They weren't saying you're going to be a poet boxer.
Well, imagine you said, what age is I? If I said now, 20 years ago, I'm going to be a podcaster. What's a podcast?
That's true.
We didn't even get Q101 until about 5 years ago.
No, that's fair. That's fair.
Praise the new Ariel.
I guess a radio presenter would be the next best thing to what a podcast.
Well, I'll tell you, my life now is a full circle story.
I want to hear it.
It's kind of like, do you ever see The Lion King? Very similar story to me.
Right. Who are you in it?
The boy that pushed him off the cliff.
Right. Scar. Aye.
No, films.
Uh-huh.
Movies I was always obsessed with as a cub. My father took me to the cinema when I was about 7 to see Space Jam.
Class.
And I remember, do you remember when your brain came online?
Kinda, aye. I got hit by a swing when I was young.
Mine wasn't as dramatic as that now.
I remember getting hit by a swing. It's the first memory I have.
Aye.
It just must have hit life into me, like.
Had it bad repercussions as you grew up?
No, well, I don't know. There's some people say there's
knocked
still
you into the world,
right, but
well, mine's was an Oma cinema because I'm mind going, how the hell is Bugs Bunny talking to Michael Jordan? I couldn't.
Oma Cinema, where was this? Was this?
The old one out the Drumquin Road.
Aye, yes.
I was like, how is this man talking to a cartoon?
Aye. That was top of the range.
I couldn't get this first time in the cinema. And after that, my mother said she never begrudged buying me a tape or a DVD because I would literally watch it till it went on fire.
Aye.
I would rewatch. So I always thought I'd love to be a film director. Like Kubrick.
Yeah.
Them kind of bush.
Aye.
Not well. And so for a long time that's what I thought, but sure in this like in this country there was nothing like that.
Aye.
No
Opportunities, no nothing.
Way before Game of Thrones and Dairy Girls and Mrs. Beige or whatever you call it. And so but I went where did I go after that?
Where did you go after school?
I went to Omatak. I hated it. I went on engineering.
Right. Did you do that just because you thought that was a sensible career path?
Very much so. Very much so.
But you couldn't have cared less about engineering if you tried.
Well, actually, no. I actually do like working on my hands.
Right.
I do like enjoying it. And I have a welder and all in the kitchen.
Right.
Take notions there.
Just weld things in the kitchen,
stick welder.
Yeah.
Up and down the kitchen cabinets.
Aye, fair enough.
Keep me from eating.
Yes.
But I do have a lot of old tools and stuff at the house that we're footing about with and making and stuff. And but I hated the class. I hated it. It was very just was so academic. Like there's any crack was bait out of it with algebra. I remember one day walking across and seeing these couple of children. They were in the foyer in Omatak, and there's a camera like that there. And they were laughing and keoing and they were having the whale of a time, and I'm going, that there's where I need to be at there. And sure enough, that's what I went and I done. But then it was even...
Wait, they were laughing at you?
Looking back now, quite possibly.
No, they were laughing. Wait, they were laughing while they were engineering?
They were making a wee short film.
Oh, right.
I missed
that bit of the story. I thought they were laughing while they were MIG welding or something.
No. We were the top. We were the second floor.
Yes, and they were making
the media was on first floor, and they were out messing about, shooting, filming, and I mind watching them going, I need to be in the middle of that. And I mind then I went over that, and but again, even they were like, here, you're not going to be making Hollywood movies out here. You're going to be shooting weddings.
Yes.
And I was like, most weddings end in divorce. I don't want a part of that at all. And then I got wild into radio, would you believe?
Right.
I would have thought of a good...
Listening?
No.
I thought you were just wild into listening to radio.
I thought I got wild into Chris Moyle. You remember Chris
Moyle?
Oh,
aye. Is he still about? No,
He's still doing some. And American ones, Howard Stern.
Yes.
Opie and Anthony. Them type boys. And I thought maybe that's because there's radio stations here. Maybe we get into that.
Yeah.
I remember doing hospital radio in Craigavon. Every Saturday night I'd drive to Craigavon for an hour and done radio to corpses.
And you recorded it in the hospital?
Down in the dungeon, down in the basement.
And what, you were just... That was exclusive what they played?
Me and John Daly. You know John Daly used to do the BBC?
I would know the name, John Daly.
He used to do it too.
You and him used to do the radio?
No, not together. He was
different. He was the weekend.
That's where he got his start.
Right.
The pensioners, and they used to write on this is how they sent in requests. They'd write in a bit of paper. And just fired at you. You'd have to pick it up and open it.
Would you tell them when the feeding time and all was? Like, and when, right, you can go to the...
Oh, you'd have to go out, shout out to Molly in Ward 3. You have 3 months left to live.
She's near gone, but... Here, that's actually... Do they still do that? Is hospital radio
I looked it up.
They just play Q radio?
There was a man... God, I've been very lucky growing up. I've always had people so good to me. And there was a man behind it, I'll not say his name, but he was running it. And he was wild good to me. Jeez, he took a wild interest in me, and he was a very, very nice man. And then I just kind of aged out of it, you know. I done it for about a year and a half, maybe.
Yeah.
And but I just took a notion. I was thinking about him there a while ago and looked up and see it's closed now. Because it's all public funding, you know.
Yeah. First thing to go.
First pandemic and all, and that was the whole thing going. But there's a great wee, like, it was an actual radio station, just down in the basement. And it was scary because you used to go down, and there was all the beds, you know.
Yeah.
And an odd time would move.
What, the bed? These are people in these beds? Or
no. They just knew them old doll. What he comes.
Yeah.
And then the curse then it was like a zombie movie, and then the light would go off.
Flickering.
I lost more weight in that year and a half just running. Feared. But
that was the start of the broadcasting.
That was the start of the broadcasting, and so that brings me.
When was that out of tech?
Yeah.
Early 20s?
I was still doing. Oh, yeah. I would have been. No, about 16, 17, I suppose. And then one day, whenever we were at Tech, I was still doing the radio stuff, and I was still still loved the films. But I thought that's what it'd be.
Yeah.
I'd maybe get a job in media, and I'll just love films or whatever, and I'll just enjoy them. And so every day when Tech would go up to Extravision at the discount aisle, and I get a DVD.
Yes.
And whatever one day I went in and seen this DVD, it was bright blue and green, and it was Tommy Tiernan's first stand-up special.
Right.
And I remember going home and watching it, and I couldn't take my eyes off it.
Was this Extravision Nova?
Aye. And that was the start of the stand-up. I was about 17. But again, at that stage, I was ahead of the curve, Tim. I was
if you'd
way
have started
ahead.
at 17, you'd be...
Not at that time. Paddy Keelty was probably the only boy that was kind of doing it here. Like Shane and all were still in the
Colin
room.
Gowan.
Colin Gowan, all
he's
those
not from here, but he was touring about the place.
He's a Donegal man, isn't he?
Aye, but I remember he done the Stuart Arts Centre for my parents went to see him. I always used to remember that wee song, Daddy's Wee Balloons. You remember it?
Is that derogatory term for something else, isn't it?
No, there's a song Colin Gowan used to play in a show, I think.
I do laugh. You know, Colin Gowan's as dirty as anybody else.
Aye.
All these wee innuendos and all these wee old women letting on they're all innocent. And
yes.
What I hate about
I tell you.
There's filth in everybody.
There absolutely is.
But, and so that was another way it is. And then after I finished my schooling, I was at a very hard crossroads.
Aye.
Because of all these things I was into, but there was none of it going on.
Yes.
So I kind of took a bit of a pill swallow, and I just kind of worked odd jobs here and there. And then I realised that I didn't like working for anybody. So I started out my own.
Yeah.
At the shop in Fintona. And then one day about, it must have been in November.
This was the mobile phone shop?
That's right. Used to do phones and laptops and tablets and stuff. I used to steal a lot of bank details, credit card stuff. That's why I'm so wealthy now.
Yeah.
And
all the Bitcoin.
all the Bitcoin. And one day about November in 2017, I just took a midlife crisis. I was looking out in Fintown Main Street, and I was like, what am I doing?
What's going on?
And I mind closing up the shop, and I sat in it about 9 o'clock that night. Because it really was. I was like, what am I doing here? What am I... I was getting, I was making a wage, I was doing well.
Yeah.
But I was like, I'm not... I'd rather be dirt poor and enjoying
doing
myself.
Something you enjoyed, you had no passion for the phones?
I had no passion for it at all. It was just a clock in, clock out. And I decided right there and then I was closing.
Yes.
And I mind going home and telling the old pair, and I was like, what? I think they were worried for me because I said, I'm closing the shop. What are you going to do? I said, I'm going to go on and do comedy.
Were you terrified? Were you a little bit terrified at that stage?
Nope.
You weren't?
Nope.
You knew you'd make it work?
No, I didn't even know. I kind of did say to myself, I was like, for better or for worse, I'm in this now.
You just knew it would be the right thing to do?
I was like, even if I don't, what people would say, make it or do well or whatever, I'd still be happy enough just trucking on my own. And that was in November. In April, I closed the shop.
Yeah.
And the month later, June, I done my first Parish Unknown video.
Aye. Oh, so did you go in, because obviously you done the Parish Unknown. Had you stepped on stage before you done the Parish Unknown?
A lot of people think I was the other way, but a lot of people think I was this guy on the internet that came
that started.
And then he thought, I'll try and make a lot of pounds stand up. No, I don't stand up maybe an AK-47.
Somebody shooting a machine gun.
I would say, it wasn't long. I'd say maybe 8 or 10 months. I done my first gig up in the PAV, didn't tell anybody.
So you done your first gig in the PAV when you closed the shop? Or
no,
before
I was still in the shop at that time. That's what I mean. I done it.
Oh, I see. You had a bit of feedback from doing a little bit. You didn't just close the shop and just not have a gig.
It's not that I even got feedback. The only feedback that came was from myself.
Aye.
Like the first time
knew you enjoyed it.
The first time I done a gig, I think for a first gig I done all right. The second gig died in my hole. Oh, savage.
Yeah.
But even at that, I had a wild death there, and I still want to do it.
Aye. That was a good sign, like.
So I was like, there we go. That's all you need. And after that then I was like, right, I'm just going into this head talk. Because I can't focus on two things at once.
Yeah.
So I need to just be at it or I'm not.
And as you said, doing something you enjoy for less money is always going to make you feel better, like.
Well, yeah, but it is a very privileged way to be.
Yeah.
I mean, not a lot of people can afford.
They need to work
to do that.
Yeah.
I'm very lucky. Like I've no family, I've no children that I talk to.
It's a different story. If someone, 3 wins, mortgage, and then they're like,
I let on, they're not mine. So
they're somewhere, but they're not.
But if I had settled down and had a wife, I probably still would be in Fintown. You know what I mean? That's
the thing. But I suppose then I guess it's taking advantage. A lot of people have the opportunity, but don't go down that route early enough.
What is it like?
And it is a bit of a risk. Like there definitely is risk. Obviously, there's more risk for someone that has, kids and a few more responsibilities, mortgages and all the rest. But
it never seemed like a risk to me because I was like, I was always wild good at just doing it,
Aye.
Like I know a lot of people I have friends there who are in the same job from we left school and they hate it. And they're sitting going, well, sure. And I'd go, do something else. I'm like, so what can I do now? I'm in my 30s. What can I happily, if I was really better, I'd go back to school. Or, I'd have no problem. I'd never say that, sure, I can't do that.
That's a very good mindset to have. Not many people have that mindset, like.
I don't think it's a mindset. I think I'm just very naive.
But it's good. It's refreshing, like, because a lot of people.
Sorry, I'm going to take another tablet.
No, here you get them in. You're prepping for a big.
To keep paid there. You talk away there.
No, it's very refreshing to have because a lot of people sink a lot of cost into something and then they think they can't leave because of how much they've given it. Whereas if you went right, I opened the shop, I want to do something I enjoy now. Yeah. And I suppose it all comes with responsibilities and all. It's harder for some people, definitely, but you still had to take the risk from the outside looking in. You might not have seen it as much of a risk, but the outside looking in, closing a business and going off to do comedy is a bit of a.
I suppose like to Lex, my parents and stuff, they were like, "What is this man?" Like I remember a friend of mine, whenever I started going about slagging towns with a camera, he admitted to me like about a year or two later, he's like, we actually got together at one stage and thought, we're going to have to sign this man into a mental. He says, we did. We genuinely thought you had lost your plot. Like, you had left this job for nothing and you started going about. And then he said, but now we get it. Now we get what you're trying to do.
Yeah. It's things that are different. Like, you started with the Well, your first Parish Unknown video was Fintona?
No, in a Skilling.
In a Skilling, right? When was that? That was middle of 20...
It was June 2019. What year did the pandemic start? 2020?
Sure, who knows? 2020, maybe?
Yeah.
Or 2019, maybe?
No, it was start of January 2020. Yeah. 2019 was just a mental year. Like. I went from at the start of 2019 working in a shop in Fintown, and by December there was boys looking to sign me to do UK tours.
I see. That's nuts. Like
it's stupid nuts. I'm glad the pandemic came about. Like, because a lot of people try to rush.
Yeah.
And with stand up and comedy, must be the only job where the older you get, it's better.
Yeah, you do see that a lot of stand ups don't get into the game until they're.
Well, I don't. That's what I could never. Like I remember one time Geddes asked me when did I start, and I says I'm around 26, 27, and he said that's why late. To me, that's very early.
Yeah.
The likes of McCann there started at 18.
I see. That's rare. That's rare. That is quite rare. Like,
sorry.
Clean the foam up there, sir.
Apologies.
No, it's all good.
I couldn't. If you had paid me now, I couldn't got on stage at 18. Like. What would you been talking about?
Well, that's it.
Armpit hair? Do you know what I mean?
Suppose everyone's different. But you're right, it is something that you can get into later down the line because then you've got life experience to tell stories about.
Exactly, and as long as you can stand, you can do stand-up comedy.
Everyone's got experience to chat about. That's fun. Get that foam in. You need that.
That's the Mexican stuff.
Electrolytes, you got that shipped in.
So my life came kind of full circle where when I was a young cub, it was movies.
Yeah.
And then it was radio and then stand-up.
Yeah.
And now I make my own videos. I do my own podcast. It's kind of like radio.
Yeah.
And I do the stand-up.
Full circle.
Full circle.
It's like the Lion King.
So I can die now. I need him.
You've done everything you need to do.
I've done everything now.
The Parish Unknown, where did the idea for that come from? That was kind of like, was that obviously your love for film and stuff and kind of making videos and the comedy kind of combined? Or did you just want to make local funny videos?
Do you ever watch Lesser Spotted Ulster?
Oh, I were your man.
I remember seeing a clip of it one time on YouTube, and the tears were running down my face. Joe Mahan was talking to some boy from outside the Moy, and he may as well have been from Mexico. He was speaking I could see Joe Mahan looking at him and was saying, "What is this boy saying?"
Yeah.
And it was the funniest thing ever. And I thought if I could do like a spoof of that.
Yeah.
And I had that in my head for about a year. And I remember telling friends about it, and they were like, "What are you on about? What are you on about?"
They think you're mad, Mark.
And I wanted to do it well. Vision. I wanted to do it like, like a good setup, but I hadn't got the good setup. Sorry, Jesus, the phone.
Sir, you're doubling up. You put two of them.
Hey, mate, you might have to stretch me out of this place. But I didn't have it. But I just went. I remember after I closed the shop at a Lock a Pound, kind of gathered, and I went and I bought a good camera. And I just went out myself of a Wednesday. And I didn't know what I was doing. And I remember I went around in a skilling. I had no plan or nothing.
Yeah.
And I recorded bits and pieces, and I went home and edited it together, and I went, "That's crap." But just be going and doing it, I kind of got a feel for it, and I knew then, right, I don't want to do this better.
How it would work,
So I got up at 4 o'clock in the morning the next morning, and I drove down a skilling. And I recorded everything that was eventually put out.
Yeah.
And that's just how it started, And I remember putting it up, and I mind not really thinking anything about it. I mean, that time, like, I had zero people looking at me stuff at all. And then...
Did you even have Instagram at this time?
No, it was Facebook.
This is all Facebook,
And then I think within the first, like, 20 or 30 minutes, it had, like, 20,000 views.
Unreal.
And then I started going, what have I done here? Because
people know who I am.
I'm going to get burnt out of this place now. But thankfully, no, people took it jovial.
There was a real, there was definitely a gap there. And I love the thought process behind it. Lesser Spotted Ulster and kind of making it into like a spoof of that. And how many did you do?
I done that in a skilling one, and then I done Bindorn.
Yeah.
Was it like a month later?
Yeah.
And then I done like the Christmas special.
Was that here? Was that in Fintona?
The end of it was here.
The end of it was here. I remember seeing the video.
Marching band.
Yeah, that's right.
It near killed me. I mean, it near killed me. Like I was going about. I remember I was filming in Dublin.
Mm-hmm.
And then I kind of was killing two birds with one stone. I had to do a bit in Dublin and a shot in London.
Yes.
So I went down.
That's right. I remember you taking the camera to London, sir.
Yeah. So I remember going down. Shot all day in Dublin, and then I'd booked my flight that night to go over to London, and then the plan was to film there.
And did you take someone with you?
No, it was on my own.
Just all on your own?
All on my own.
You set the tripod up and the camera up?
Mm-hmm. And just start screaming at it, and people walking going, "What is this crap that are running?"
I was sure in London that's normal. People screaming in London normally.
Not in my experience.
You see some rash sights in London.
But sure even got away with I went into was shooting in Dublin.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't mean people are well good too. I was shooting in Dublin. I was shooting in Trinity College.
Yes.
And I just walked. I strolled straight in like I owned the place. Like I was paying tuition for everybody. See, this is the naivety again. I just went in, and I put up the tripod and I started screaming and shouting. And some fella come up to me. He says, "You're that boy that does the videos, the towns." And I says, "Aye." And he was a Dublin fella. And he says, "How did you get permission to film in here?" I says, "Sorry, what? I never got any permission." And he says, "Geez, you're not allowed to be filming anything in here." And the guy had the camera up and security guards were. And he gave me he says, he showed me his student ID. He says, "Take a picture of that. And if they give you any hassle, just say you're a student here and you're media."
And you got away with it?
I got away with it.
But people, there's goodness in people, like.
Oh, I think most people's default setting is good.
Aye, they just get
but we're all nobody's all good.
No.
There's a bit of bad and a bit of good in the whole lot of us. But as long as when you're on your deathbed and they're about to stop the clock,
they think
as long as you've more good,
sound lad,
more good in your roster, you're all right.
Aye. What is there any more plans with the video side? I want to get into the comedy side of stuff too, but any more plans in the works of the video side of things? Is the Parish Unknown series done, or are we getting more, or what's?
She's done now.
Done.
I don't like dragging things on too long.
It has its time and its place.
It has its time, and then just move on.
Finished up.
But no, I'm always working on it. I was working on one throughout the pandemic, but it was a real nightmare. The pandemic was a real torture. Like I was trying to go and filming in these places, and I actually asked permission, and they'd say aye, and then when you'd go there, they'd go no, and it was a real nightmare. But no, I've always been. But I was working on a big one there that'll probably hopefully release soon after Micky's death.
Demolition. You need to kill that man first, and then start thinking about work.
Front and centre there since Christmas, so after we get that done, and I'll repent for about a week and mourn. And then we'll get back into it again.
Funny when the AK-47 comes on when you're chatting about Micky's death.
Even the plumbing and the heating knows
what's coming.
That
knows what's coming. Like it knows what's already happened because this is in the future.
But I find I don't know. I think I should be in tablets or something. Do you find it hard to focus?
In terms of focus, in terms of what? Like stay focused on one task, one thing.
Yes.
You might have a touch ADHD about you.
No touch. I've got a handful of it. I find it very hard now. It's very, very hard for me to see there if I have a gig on a Thursday. I could pretty much do nothing else that week.
Right.
Bar concentrate on that gig.
I would see that, but surely that shows that. I suppose it is a bit of a focus thing, but that shows that you're focused on that one thing. So it's not so much a focus problem; it's more of a
not well.
Something not right.
Is there studies you can get done? I'd love to get that thing.
I'd love people to study you too. Yeah.
My neurological pathways wouldn't be thorough.
No, I hear they're definitely nothing. There's nothing wrong with you. Like.
You think I'll live?
No, you'll get through. You'll get through. But I wanna talking about the comedy now. Obviously, gigging pretty regularly, flat out. Not so much
really.
At the minute.
No, I don't subscribe to this thing where you have to be gigging all the time. I mean, don't get me wrong. When you start out, obviously, if you're not comfortable on stage or anything, but I always felt comfortable on stage. I've never had that fear of that.
Yeah,
it's just what you're saying.
But that's funny that you were a shy child. And then you've no bother standing on stage and never felt uncomfortable on stage. That doesn't really add. Maybe there's something wrong with me.
More awkward in a room of 2 than I would 200.
Aye. That's funny. Would you say you're an introvert or an extrovert?
Introvert. 100% an introvert.
Aye.
There's days there if I if I had a really, really like not massive, but a gig that's just mad.
Yeah.
Like everybody's going, I could nearly sleep the whole next day. It'll just take that much.
A lot of your social batteries drained.
Yes. That's an introvert.
Yeah. You always feel like you can only go in small doses. But then if you're 200 people, that's a lot of social. But then maybe you feel like you're interacting more when it's a smaller crowd. Less people.
Like the more people you get, the less you feel connected to them. Because they're literally just like a swarm of bees.
Yeah.
Loads of them. So it's sometimes it takes more out of you doing a crowd of 50 than it would 5,000.
It does make sense. Because I guess when you're just standing on stage and you're just doing your set, whereas if you know what you're going to say, you know what you're doing, so it's just kind of getting up and doing it. Whereas when you're in a smaller crowd, it's like the conversation's always changing. Definitely more taxing. Like, I get that. I do. I definitely do get that. I do appreciate that. But in terms of you launched your own night recently.
Pats, yeah.
How did that come about? Is that something you always wanted to do, or was it just an opportunity that came about and you were like, I
done my own in November before the pandemic. I'd just done my own night in it.
Yeah.
I headlined and then I put a couple of boys on and all was there. And then it went very well, sold out.
Yeah.
And they thought, would you do it again? And then, of course, the pandemic, everybody was closed now. And then I just thought about it. They came back to me again after everything opened up again, and they said, would you do a regular thing in it? And I was kind of like, I didn't really know what to do. But I thought it'd be great, having a place every month you can go and try out new stuff. And get some people, like some of the guys that were never down this neck of the woods. Like, I know Daly's right enough, but not down by Fermanagh direction. So I said I'd give it a go, and we started last summer. And pretty much every one of them has been sold out.
It's flying. That's what I realised. Like.
So we do it end of every month. We try to do one,
Yeah.
So that keeps me going too.
Yeah. No, that's class. Any kind of, in terms of the comedy, before I want to touch on social media, because I know you have opinions on social media. I know we chatted about this before. But any kind of goals for the comedy side of things away from the video, and any kind of Do you set goals? Are you a vision man? Or are you just kind of take it as it comes?
No, I'm blind. That's why I have no vision, just hearing. I've
Registered blind.
I've held it well though.
You
Nobody's
have.
ever said, "Are you blind?"
You walk down that street, nobody.
That's why my face is rock hard.
Aye.
My whole life has been walking into things.
Yeah.
Micky Bartlett's going to be hitting like a concrete block.
Here.
Cinder block.
I feel sorry for him.
I am wild bad. I do need to nearly book things to work towards. Because if I didn't, I wouldn't do nothing.
Yeah.
I really wouldn't. So I'd need to have a big show booked for the end of the year, and that's about it.
Oh, nice.
But I think I might just do that one show, and that's it.
That's it?
I do. I'm a big believer in less is more.
Yeah. Less, more good quality.
Look, you do have to go out and try this material and stuff like that there, don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But, like, I remember back in the day, like, whenever I first got into stand-up, you'd see your favourite comedian maybe once every 2 years, you're lucky.
Yeah.
Because he'd come around, like Tommy Tiernan and that would have came and done the hotel in Oma. You wouldn't have seen him again for 2 years. It took him that long to get around. Yeah. And he'd have done Europe or America or whatever. And I think that should be right. Like,
so you just got one big show. But in terms of setting goals, do you set any goals? Are you a 5-year, 10-year plan?
Every morning I wake up, I think I'm lucky I'm here today again.
You're just thankful?
I just play.
For every day?
I got out of the 9 to 5 drivel to enjoy myself.
Yeah. So you just...
No, I'm not afraid of doing a bit of hard work. But
you wake up thinking, blessed to be here another day.
When you wake up every morning, what do you think?
I think there's another day that's another day in the calendar. Another opportunity to grow, another opportunity to do what I want to do. Mm-hmm. You the same?
Usually I'm going, geez, if I pissed the bed today.
Are you just happy if you haven't
just happy
caused
to be
an issue
here,
in bed? Aye. I think that's a good way to be. See, just being happy and grateful for what you have. Like,
what more do we want?
You're right.
What more?
And sometimes we can get too greedy.
I know boys that are never happy.
Aye.
And they think, if I get this thing, I'll be happy. And next thing they're off the edge of the cliff.
Aye.
And I've pushed them off.
Yeah.
Because I'm scared.
They're dead.
I'm very content now, I have to say. I'm not wanting for anything. I'm at peace.
Yes.
I'm like a monk.
I like that. But see, you are the closest thing to a monk, I would say, that I know in my close circle. Mm-hmm. You're an elusive character. Mm-hmm. And it's just, there's a lot of...
Well, I've heard that. I heard somebody refer to me as sly or something on a podcast there recently. I'm not sly.
No slyness in you.
But they don't ask me questions.
Exactly. What you see is what you get with you.
If you ask me a question, what are you doing next week? I'll tell you.
You will.
But then if they don't ask you and you turn around and you announce you're doing 18 9s and necklace of Santa, they go, geez, you're sly.
Exactly.
You can't win with people.
No, you can't. You can't. But I think that's a very refreshing way to look at your life and happiness. Just being
I find myself very lucky. I know that's a cliche thing to say, but I mean, the chances, if you'd have told me when I was 16 that I would be doing this,
yes,
I was like, go and catch yourself on, have a word to yourself. So the fact that I can actually do it and make a few pound at it,
class.
I mean, there's always these boys that are trying to get more. No.
So
and any of the best gigs I've ever had has been at home.
Aye.
So I'm very happy.
I do like that. See, so many people say, I'll be happy when I get this or I'll be happy when I get that. But why can we not be happy in the moment?
But people look at you like you're not wise.
Aye.
Because people offer me things and I'm like, nah. And they go, what?
No interest.
This man will be clawing my eyes out to get this. Well, sure, give it to him then if he really wants to do it.
That's very refreshing. I'm a big man for...
Mints. That's all I want.
Mints and spuds?
Mints and spuds.
Mints? Do you mean like polos? With a T or with a C?
I am every woman's dream. Because I'm so easy to look after. Like, I don't want anything fancy.
You're low maintenance to that. You are definitely low maintenance.
I'm so low maintenance.
Some woman's going to be wild lucky.
You don't need any warranty in me.
No.
I'm so low maintenance.
There's nothing going to go wrong with me.
Not the thing.
What are you going to ring in here? There's something wrong
I'm a survivor at him.
I
can just bounce off. If the nuclear bomb hit tomorrow from Putin, I think I'd walk past it. Looking for you.
No, you're right.
I adapt.
Aye. Adapt and overcome.
Adapt and overcome.
That's what it is. And I like that. I really do like that now, because I sometimes I get stuck in like setting big goals and setting big dreams. It's all well and good. And sometimes it's good to have, things.
That's great if you're enjoying yourself.
Aye. If you're on the right path and you're making sure that you enjoy the gap between you and getting that.
Where's the point killing yourself?
Aye. And then getting something and being like, well, what's the next thing?
Exactly.
Waste of time.
I was born with nothing and I'll die with nothing.
Oh, wow. That'll be a clip. I love that.
That's the way
Born
I'm
with
gonna
nothing,
go.
die with nothing. I love that. You don't take it with you. This is
it. Well, I will, because I'm going to have a tomb.
Yes.
On Fintona main street.
Yes.
And I'm going to have my riches and all, like an Egyptian.
Aye.
They're going to build it all up around me and the dog.
You could be
and
put
stuff.
where that Christmas tree is. It's not needed, like.
No, well, I've requested it to stay there now 24/7, because
Right.
we had the handling of the Christmas tree.
Yes, that is
a couple
right.
of years ago.
Yeah.
And I requested that never be took down.
Yeah.
To make up for.
I suppose it's just you could just see it as a big plant. It doesn't have to be a Christmas tree.
Well, I'd be up every morning watering that Christmas tree.
Aye.
Yeah.
You must be in early.
People think these things just come out of nowhere.
That's true.
They need looked after,
No, you're right. I want to talk about social media. I want to talk about, because I noticed there recently you just deleted everything off the Instagram.
Yeah.
Everything gone.
Yeah.
Apart from the one post of you in the bath.
Yeah.
Which I love.
Well,
it's my favourite picture, actually. I haven't my wall.
The solicitors told me I had to get rid of the evidence.
Yes. But what way do you see? Are you a social media? I have a feeling if you didn't need to put anything on social media, you wouldn't.
You're probably right.
Aye, like if it didn't exist, you'd be grand. But do you see?
If I could work out a way to,
promote everything without using it,
yes,
you would do that.
I would do that. If I could get everyone's phone number, I'd ring them up personally.
Aye.
I'm on dailies.
Or send a letter
I'm
or
on
something.
dailies next week.
Aye, yeah.
Fax machine.
Yeah.
I want to get one of them.
Yeah.
Social media now, I wouldn't be a massive fan of it now.
Yeah.
But I think it's great. I think on paper it's great, but it's like everything else. Once people get their claws in it, they take a real hand of it and make it bad.
Yeah.
Just look at Twitter. Jeez, it was great when it first started.
Cooked. Sure, it's cooked.
You mean Vine?
I was on Vine. I think I got an account probably about a week before it closed down.
Look how brilliant Bebo was.
Aye. Unreal.
Bebo was like a ray of sunshine.
Your
every
top
day.
16, like.
Your music and all.
Rise,
and sure, look at the way things have went now.
Aye.
No, I wouldn't be a massive. But that's like the whole deleting stuff. I kind of just, I think I hate looking back,
Are you looking forward, man?
I don't. Sometimes I look back at things and I'm like, ugh.
Someone once told me only look back to see how far you've come.
I like that. I'm gonna get that tattooed.
Get that in your torso.
I just I don't see the need of sometimes it's nicer keeping it up here in your head.
It's done and it's finished, but you can appreciate it without having.
Yeah,
it's
nice when somebody will say to you, "Do you remember the time we done this?" And you go, "What are you on about?" And you go, yes. And Instagram's just like a daily.
Yeah, I get that. No one can take it away from you if it's up here.
But now it's a kind of a seesaw thing, because you're like, you owe it everything too. I wouldn't be here without social media.
Well, that's true. Yeah, exactly.
But I think it's if you use it properly.
If you're using the right way, it's a net positive, I think.
Now, if I could get away with it now, I'd have all apps off my phone. But then there's people then trying to message me through Facebook, and then of course I don't respond, and they go, "Well, there's a hateful," and then you're like,
everyone builds their own perception of you based on your social media.
Nobody can fathom now if you haven't got a social media app on your phone.
Yeah.
You think you're a criminal.
See, this is the thing that I think too. See, with Instagram or social media, say you get messages. Sometimes we forget that is there only. You could get 30 messages, but you see that as 30 messages that you have to get back to. But they're all each individual people. So that's that one person's perception of you, whereas you're seeing it as this is a group of people. So they automatically could think if you don't reply, you're a bad guy. But you don't see that they're seeing it. That could be their only interaction with you.
See, I'm wild bad at replying to
so I'm awful with messages too. Like.
But if I could go, there's a payphone near us, probably the last payphone in the country. And I think I'm just going to start handing out that payphone number. And I'll check it once a month, the messages.
Could be a good shout.
If there's anything of interest, we'll go to it.
Set up a P.O. box and just get people to write you letters.
P.O.? P.O. who?
P.O. box.
A P.O. box? But is there such a thing as a P.O. box here?
I don't know. You probably get sent to supermarket.
Wicklow or somewhere.
Well, maybe. But I do find that with a lot of comedians that I know, they wouldn't thank you for social media, but they appreciate what it does.
There's some now that would.
Some really get into the game.
Because a lot of comedians, you know, and this is, I'm not slagging anyone, but you know,
throw digs if you want.
They're all ego driven.
Aye.
You know,
narcissists.
They need validation from people, and that's all Instagram is validation through likes. And so if they're not getting it on the stage, they tend to
dopamine.
Dopamine is right. A lot of dopes about.
There's a lot of dopes.
And they try to go it online. So that's why but I don't tend to like, unless it's a video I want to put out, or if I'm, you know, like promoting this charity thing, I'll fire away at stuff and take the hand. But you'll not see me open an account for my dog anytime soon.
You see, you use it in the dog accounts. Well, that's another topic altogether. But you use it in like, it's not the dog using it, like, that's a fact.
Depends. I seen a dog grab a tennis ball out of a pond the other day with a stick.
Right.
And I know boys that wouldn't even be as smart as that dog could fall into it.
I could see that. But you use social media in the way that you want to use it. I think that's the big thing. A lot of people get dragged into using it in the way that they think they should use it.
It's not a conscious decision. I just, you know...
You just use it if you were like, I need to put up I'll put up a photo
if I need to put up with this, or I need to let people know what the podcast's out, or something like that there, but... No, I wouldn't.
Do you buy into the fact that comedians are very insecure? Because going back to that, that's not me saying every comedian I know is insecure, but going back to that fact of standing on stage to get gypsies, stand on stage to get that validation. Like, I would argue a lot of PTs become personal trainers because there's a hint of narcissism in them. Like, you know, they want to look good, and then they want.
Well, there's a hint of narcissism in everybody.
Well, that's true.
No matter what they do, I do think there is bits and pieces. I remember, I don't know who was talking about that one time. I remember it's supposed to be all comedians are kind of damaged.
Aye.
And that's the reason why they get into it.
Yes.
I don't know. There probably is an abundance of them.
Aye.
I mean, we know, we've met them.
Aye.
We know a lot of them.
Yeah, cook
but
the
goose. I think there's a lot of them too that just love the craft of it. And just love that line of work.
Yeah.
I mean, like Micky's not well.
Yes.
You know,
and he won't be well come Monday.
I kind of feel a wee bit sorry from you with that.
Can we actually just put out the hope Micky's doing well in Craig Alvin or wherever he is?
Yeah. Shout out to his mother.
Yeah.
But like, I would never, like, I had a very good childhood. Like, I wouldn't have said I would have been a loner. I would have been like a kind of the outsider kind of a type thing. But I wouldn't ever have like. I don't have that thing in me where I have to be on stage every week.
And you have to be valid. Like, you need to get that
dopamine
hit. Like, no interest.
Never. Even there's times there where the people's laughs mean nothing to me. I've had gigs,
but that's good. That's kind of good.
I've had gigs where, you know, it has done mighty well.
Yeah.
Like, hands down, the crowd were amazing and they were slapping their knees and enjoying it. And I hated it. And I've had gigs where they're looking at me like, what the hell is going on at this point? And I'm sitting laughing my ass off.
But that always shows that you'll do stuff that you want to do. You won't do stuff that you think's funny. That's
again ignorant. Naivety and ignorance.
But it's a good thing sometimes, because a lot of people
not really for paying punters. Well, you need them to have a good time.
They hate the whole thing. But it's a lot of people, especially with Instagram, they'll start doing things that they think people want to see, and then they'll just lose they'll lose their whole identity.
It very much is, say, an echo chamber.
Yeah.
And you do see, you know, when somebody like, it's funny, like, you know, you see one person do it and then there's 20 doing the exact
copying
same.
it. It's big in the PT world, like.
Yeah. Well, I suppose that people see a blueprint and they go, well.
Yeah. And it is sensible to kind of, it's good to get ideas. I always say, or Sean said to me whenever Sean Casey was in this podcast, use comparison for inspiration, not comparison to put yourself down. So it's good to compare to inspire and kind of take ideas, but don't try and copy, and don't try and see someone, they have that. So
I don't pass much remarks on anybody. I don't really like. Sure, everything
you are the blueprint.
Well, everything I've done has always been wrong, according to somebody. I mean, I remember when I first put up videos, they always tell you don't have it any longer than 30 seconds.
Yes.
I don't think I have a video shorter than 3.
Yep.
You know, when they tell you, post of a Wednesday at 5 o'clock in the morning. They tell you all these things to do, and you're like, and it needs to be this, and it needs to be that, and it needs to be...
Yeah.
Just go ahead and
I think that stands to you, because it then shows that you're not, like, sometimes doing something different. That's where the big change... Like, Parish Unknown was something different, like. And as you said, a lot of people probably they were about to check you into the mental, like. And then
they probably were right.
Well, you could
I'm
still
not
have
saying
it
they were
checking.
wrong,
Everyone could be in the
it'd be a lovely week apiece if you ask me.
Yeah, no, I'd say so. I'd say you'd probably actually enjoy it. Just on your own.
I probably would love the solitary, all right.
But I want to McCartney Plus.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to talk about that. Now, what was that? Was that sticking it to the man? Was that you wanted to have complete control over who signs up? Because obviously that was... when did you start that?
Just about a year ago there.
A year ago?
About a year at the end of January there.
And essentially, for people that don't know, it is your own subscription site to access your podcasts.
I built my own Netflix.
Aye. Essentially.
Well, not
You're a
mogul.
A mogul.
I'm a media mogul is right. Poet and mogul.
Yeah. Poet, mogul,
rare
boxer.
Combination.
Yeah,
very much so. I'm not a big fan of Patreon.
Right.
They charge wild fees on the creators.
What is it, 30 or 40% or something?
I can't remember now, but it's a brave bit.
Too much.
And then they take on the dollar currency exchange. And that kind of irked me a bit. And also, it had this weird ethos of, support your creator, where I was kind of like, no, that message of supporting is wrong.
Yeah.
You don't. Whenever you have a Netflix subscription, you don't think I'm supporting Netflix here.
No.
You're getting a service and that kind of a thing. And again, another thing I remember telling boys, I think I might try and make my own kind of subscription website. And they're like, why?
Aye.
Patreon, why, blah, blah. And now they're all asking me, how do you do that?
I see. First they laugh, then they follow.
No, I'm not letting on that I'm any kind of a guru here or anything, but I just had that. I was like, I think, and it was the pandemic too. If I hadn't been the pandemic, I probably wouldn't. I had the time to look into it.
Yeah.
And but I kind of said, right, I'm going to work on this for a while and see if it's even possible to put something together. And I remember thinking the day, I was very actually nervous the day I launched it, because this could be a complete disaster.
Aye.
And you're dealing with people's money here and all.
And I'm sure it was a initial outlay was significant, like, to get off the ground, get the app and all set up.
It wasn't too bad.
Was it not?
There was a lot of kind of just back and forth and trying this and trying that and seeing if this worked and what that looked like. And the first day it launched, it crashed.
Right.
And I'm going, oh, gee, here we go. But that was the only hiccup we've had. It came back online again then after a while. And it's been mad to see, because you can see all the people, you can see where from around the world people are watching. Yeah. And that's kind of mental to see.
That's unreal. I think it's a great idea. And if anyone wants to subscribe, what is it? McCartneyplus.com?
Just markmccarney.com, and there's a McCartney Plus button at the top.
And they get what? They get the podcast, what is it, a month before?
Well, I have the thing where, a lot of Patreons stuff is like it's a bonus. Which I never agreed with either, because I'm like, these are the people that's giving you the hard-earned cash. They're your number one. You focus on them. Yeah. And so anything I do, it goes on there first. And then I'll kind of just drip feed it onto social media. If I think I want to post it, I'll post it. If I don't, I don't. Yeah.
No, I think it's a great idea.
But it was early, it's still early days. Like last year was very much just kind of seeing it work. And now that I know it does work, I'll go hell for leather this year. Making content and stuff for it. So the podcast now goes up on it.
That's where all the videos will go. Any videos you do, that'll be there.
That's where everything's going to go.
They're the main supporters.
And if I take a notion, then I'll put it up on YouTube or something.
I like that. I like that a lot. Right, I want to get into the boxing. I want to chat about the boxing.
What, do you want to take me on?
No, I want to spar you. I'm not a comedian. It's a good job I'm not in there, because I would hurt.
But I'm not either. I'm a poet.
That's right. Sorry, you're a poet.
Poet with weapons.
But how have you found the prep for it? Because it was a quick turnaround. You obviously told you
too quick.
Any
man I said I'm going boxing, they went, when is it? And I said a month, and they're like, what? Boys, professional boxers wouldn't take a match on within a month.
But have you enjoyed has it been an enjoyable fitness? Obviously, in terms of, I know you're going to a new gym and all the rest. Have you kind of enjoyed the fitness part of it? Has there been any part of it where you've been like, this has actually been something that I might keep up, or do you want to just give up boxing as soon as you're out of that ring?
No, absolutely, I will be keeping it up.
Good.
Because my fitness regime wouldn't have been great. It's just been quavers in, quavers out.
Yeah.
Or no, just in.
The quaver curves?
Just quavers. So I wouldn't rarely have done the gym. There was a time in my 20s I did take a notion. and I lost a bit of weight and stuff. But then it got to the stage where it was like a 3-hour thing, because I would have went to the gym, and I went to the pool and the sauna, and I was at school at that time, so it was. But then when you're working,
harder to fit. It's the first thing to go.
Aye.
Yeah.
So for years there, I wouldn't have bothered with fitness, but no, I have to say, like the first week back,
yeah,
I felt like jumping into the stroll. I just was like, my God. But even pain's nice.
Yeah. It's what you said to me. You were like, the boy dug you in the ribs. You were like, do it again.
Do it again.
Aye.
And I've seen Johnny Bow, I seen a clip of him saying the same thing.
Yeah, yeah.
He's like, I didn't think I'd enjoy getting hit in the face as much.
Aye.
What is that now?
I think it's especially with sport, there is definitely a pleasure when it comes to pain in a certain way for a sport, because you're competing. When you're boxing, you're competing to beat someone.
Yes.
So whenever you get pain and then you overcome that pain and you win a match or you win a spar or whatever, not win a spar, you're a spar. But there's definitely a dopamine release there. There's definitely like an adrenaline thing, or it's like a pleasure that you get from it. There definitely.
Micky's going to be very pleased tomorrow night, though. It's just going to be one dopamine after the other.
Aye.
Down. But no, I will definitely keep it up, because even the hardest part, I remember there's the introvert kicking in too. I mean, the first day I drove to the gym, and I mind sitting in the car looking at the front of the building going, Jesus. That awkward moment of going into a new place, and I mind walking in and everyone kind of looking at me, and I was like, they can tell I'm a heap.
No, they were probably going, that's the fella that does the town.
No, look at this fatty now trying to...
No, you see, this is one thing.
It's all in your head.
It's all in your head. It's all in your head. No one really... You'll get people that look, but no one really cares.
Exactly. And I'm going to give them a shout out. It's Peak Fitness in Fintonas.
Nice.
And every one of them have been so good to me.
Yeah.
And they took me under the wing, and then they took me for PT lessons when
Unreal.
It was for the boxing, and I mind coming home days going, and just lying on the sofa, just arms just feel like they're touching your toes, but you still feel like you've done something.
Yeah, there's definitely whenever you put in hard work and you feel like that feeling of soreness in your muscles, there's a pleasure in that. I always say it's like runner's high. I know you probably haven't run much for the boxing training.
Sorry, what?
Yeah, well, have you run much for the boxing?
How dare you? Run!
Have you been running?
I've been running up and down to Drungannon with tyres on my back.
Aye, I could say that.
I've been flat out, Tim.
The runner's high? Have you experienced the runner's high?
No, runner's...
You get the boxer's high?
Runner's low. I've been running that fast, my nose was touching the ground.
Like road runner vibes?
I'm like, what do you call that film? Cool Runnings.
Cool Runnings.
I'm like a toboggan going down the A5.
I'd say so.
So, no, I'm no good at the skipping now. I'm very uncoordinated.
Well, this is one thing that Micky Bartlett.
What good skipping?
See, this is what I think he's all show.
Oh, absolutely.
He's all skip, no box.
He'll go down like a bag of diarrhea. He's gonna go. He's big, like.
He's big guy.
But he's built like a chicken.
He is like a chicken. He's
all kind of up there.
We legs him and just.
But all not. I know he's gonna put in a fight. But as again. It's all going to be corrupt. It's all going to be...
You're the real winner.
It's all going to be fixed.
Yes.
But as long as the people know...
You're the true champ.
Yeah. The people's champion.
You can't really lose.
Well...
In your mind?
In my mind, exactly.
Yes.
Exactly.
Which is a good attitude to have, because you can't be disappointed.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. So if someone thinks... I'm very, very excited to watch
But I will be disappointed if he's not... wheelchaired out of the ring. That's my only disappointment.
Oh, are you bringing the wheelchair in all form?
No. I want him to be down. I want him broken.
Aye.
I don't want him beat. I want him broken.
Yes. But so you're definitely going to keep it on.
I definitely will.
Have you found as part of your routine now? Have you found like you've got into the habit of going to the gym and?
No, well, I think because it's took up a lot of time.
It is. It's time consuming, definitely.
And but I even said to me PT there, Shane, yesterday, I was like, after this is over, I want to book you in for a better time. Maybe early in the morning. Yeah. Twice a week or whatever. Whereas this time has been all nights and stuff. So get something and work it into the routine.
Yeah. See, there's a lot. This is a massive benefit of getting involved in this. If you stick to.
And again, it's like even if I do lose, which it won't be a true loss. We
know that Lurgan judges.
But I might lose the battle, but I'll not have lost the war. Because I'll keep at it and I'll walk in here like Chris Hemsworth.
Yes.
And Mickey will still be sitting looking like Fat Thor.
Yeah. He does look a bit like Thor.
He does.
If Thor was in a bad accident.
He will be Thor tomorrow.
No, I'll be Thor tomorrow night.
Thor tomorrow night.
He will be.
He'll have his tongue bit and he'll be listening Thor. Thor all over.
And also, at the end of the day, it's for charity.
Well, that's what they say. Aye. That's been the back of my mind.
Yeah.
All I heard was bait Micky Bartlett, and I was like, sign me up.
Aye, but it's a bonus. Like, it's
absolutely.
for charity, and then you also get the beat
for PIP's suicide prevention.
Yeah.
A great charity. There's a place in Enniskillen for it as well.
Mm-hmm.
There's an office for them. A very good cause now, and we've raised the right lot of funds for them, I do believe.
If people want to donate, actually, I must remember to put the donation link in the description. It's probably on somewhere. Is there just giving or a GoFundMe
just
page
giving,
or something?
if you can't make it and you want to give a few pounds.
It's also being live streamed.
That's right.
Apparently.
It was the event of the year.
It's the hottest party of the spring.
Yeah. People.
Is it the spring yet? No, maybe it's still winter, is it? I don't know.
No, I think
when does spring start? In Fintona, I think it's mid.
Whenever I hear the wee lambs.
There's lambs out in my farm at the minute.
Oh, well, then it's spring.
So spring, So spring. Hottest party of the spring. If you want to watch it, it's on Patreon, I think, is it?
They signed up, they just kind of...
Comedians Boxing or something
Comedians
on Patreon.
Boxing Patreon, and then they're doing the live stream through it.
Here, Mark, I appreciate you coming on. And it's great to hear. It's great to hear that you've... got into the fitness as well.
Yes.
That's I'm really glad to see that.
I'm looking
forward to you becoming chiseled.
I can become a partner in your PT business.
Well, we'll chat about that another time, maybe.
We'll sign up a couple of when they wants to see me, people will be asking, how did you get into such shit?
You'd be a great
you'd
be a great advert.
We'll be like Arnold Schwarzenegger's gym.
Yeah.
Gold's gym.
Aye. McCarney and
Braun's gym.
Morning. Gold's a bit much.
No, it's a bit much right
But
now.
you will be winning gold this Saturday night. Well, you'll be against Mickey.
Gold slinger.
Yes. Gold. And if anyone does want to watch that, Patreon Comedians Boxing, you'll get it all. McCarney, where can people find you? MarkMcCarney.com. And then Instagram, he's one picture.
Or 4 Mile Out of Fintona.
4 Mile Out of Fintona, Vinegar Lane.
That's
out that direction.
That's where you want
Mark McCarney on Instagram. Not that you really care if anyone follows you, anyway. But drop him a follow. McCartney Plus is great.
The only man that needed followers was our Lord.
And he's right there. And also, I was actually on your podcast no time ago.
You were last week, 2 weeks ago?
2 weeks ago.
Aye.
So if you want to listen to that as well, it was very different to this one. Like there's been a lot of variety. We talked about a lot of different things. So if you want to listen to that, go over to McCarney.com, get on McCartney Plus. £3. 3 squid?
$3.50.
Gee, they're not. $3.50.
Inflation.
You wouldn't even get a coffee for that these days, to be fair. $3.50. But no, Mark, I appreciate you coming on. I really, really
Pleasure.
do. And good luck tomorrow.
Thank you, sir.
Here, not that you need it.
Not that I need it, hey.
Good luck. He's the one who needs it. That fella there. The man from Lurgan.
Luck's for losers.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. But here, guys, thank you for listening. Remember to share, subscribe to the YouTube Shorts, Reels, TikTok, Facebook. A lot of good engagement on Facebook these days. I think it's coming back. It's coming back. But yeah, look, I really appreciate it. MySpace, Bebo. Really, really do appreciate it. Share Morning Coffee with Tim. And also, don't forget to grab a coffee, get your steps in, and I'll see you in the next one.
Good luck.
Good luck.